Howdy y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be somewhat of a response to Backfire TV's 1 MOA hoax video. In that video, I encourage you to go look it up if you haven't seen it. He heads out to the range and offers like 50 bucks for anybody that can shoot a 1 MOA group at 100 yards. And he's there for multiple days and no one is able to pull it off. And he leans into the fact that that was mostly the rifle's fault and that these rifles that are coming out of the factory aren't 1 MOA, even if they have a 1 MOA guarantee. And my main problem with that video is that he leans into it all being the rifle's fault and puts no fault on the shooter. And there's several factors, right? Like, are you even a 1 MOA shooter? But the next thing is the rifle broken in, and did that person spend the time to find the right ammo that that rifle likes? So I thought I would put it to the test myself, and I went out and got me a brand new Ruger American Generation 2. This is the Ranch Edition in 308, so that's a 16-inch barrel. Only thing I've added to it is the Vortex scope, the Magpul bipod, and my suppressor, which is a Q Trash Panda. Now, I did follow a break-in procedure, which if you watch anything from Texas Predator Hunting, Wade over there, he has a podcast where he goes into great detail on his new rifle procedures. And so, gist of that is, you have your brand new gun. First thing you do is you strip it all apart, clean everything, put it all back together, making sure everything's torqued to factory specs. From there, break-in's about 100 rounds, that first 20 rounds. And you want to use some inexpensive ammo because it is going to add up. But I went out, found some 308 by PMC. It was PMC Bronze, 147 grain FMJs. First 20 rounds, every shot, you clean the barrel. After you get through that first 20, do a thorough cleaning, and then you shoot to 100 or plus. Making sure you're not burning down the barrel. You're just doing 3 to 5 shot groups, depending on what your gun can handle. I mostly stayed with 3-shot groups through that whole process. And it does take pretty much a whole day to get through that, letting the barrel cool in between. But then after that, your 100 or whatever you decide to stop, you thoroughly clean the barrel. And at that point, you will need to fire a few fouling rounds, and then you can go ahead and start testing for accuracy with different brands of ammunition. And this is sort of new to me entirely, so I may have missed a step there and something like that, but I believe that that process really does help the rifle, because from the first group I shot with this relatively cheap ammunition, it was probably about 5 inches, and then by that last group that brought me to 100 rounds, that group had closed down to about 3 inches, which I'd say that's pretty good evidence there that the rifles do benefit from some break-in, right? So, at any rate, as I said, this rifle's already been broken in. So, some ammunition I have here to test. This is a 1 in 10 twist. So, from my understanding, that should love a heavier grain bullet. But I have read that it being a shorter barrel, it might like some of the lighter stuff. Don't know how true that is, but we'll see. So from Hornady, the American Whitetail edition, I have 150 grain interlocks and 165 grain interlocks. From Hornady's Black line, I have a 155 AMAX and a 168 grain AMAX. Federal Gold Medal, both of these are Sierra Match Kings. I have a 168 grain and a 175 grain. And then finally, I have a box of the Hornady Precision Hunter 178 ELDX. So, without further ado, go ahead and set up the target at 100 yards and see what we can do. Alrighty. Our first ammo to test today will be the Hornady American Whitetail 150 grain interlock. And I think I forgot to mention in my overview that we're going to be shooting 3-shot groups until we find something that really likes. And then And we'll test again. And another thing I forgot to mention was the vortex I have is a 4 to 12, so that should help me bury the crosshairs. Alrighty, let's go down the range and see how we did. Alright, we're down here at 100 yards. That group is the Hornady American Whitetail 150 grain interlock. And I'll try to measure center to center. Right about there. I'm showing 1.1. 1.15 is what I'll write. Alrighty, next round we'll be testing is the other box of American Whitetail I had, which is the 165 grain interlock. And in between my last set, I have let the barrel cool completely. So we'll see what we can do. Sometimes you forget if you loaded one or not. I know I pulled that last one, and I'll mark it for y'all on target, but I do want to try one more. That last one was definitely me. All right. Alrighty. Alrighty, y'all. A reminder, this is the Hornady American Whitetail 165 grain interlock. This is shot 1 and 2. This was 3, which I felt that I pulled pretty bad. And this is my 4th shot that I felt really confident on, but as you can see, it's a pretty big spread. Let's see what that original group would have been. Center to center. A little bit more. 2.1. Yeah, definitely 2.1. Yeah, or 2.08. And this group with my better one, well, what I felt was a better shot. What is that? 2.21. So I'll go ahead and call it at the biggest 3-round group, which is 2.21. So 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty. So for our next cartridge to test, we're going to be testing the Hornady Black line. This is the 155 grain AMAX. As of right now, it seems to like the lighter weight projectiles. So let's see what this 155 can do. I think I like what I'm seeing from here. Let's walk down to 100 yards and see how that did. All right, now that is what we've been looking for. All right, reminder, this is the Hornady Black line of ammunition, 155 grain AMAX. Break out the calipers here. See what that is. Alright, a little windy, but measuring, center to center, 0.74. Center to center, we'll call that 0.75. Y'all can see it. Alrighty. Next box of ammunition we're gonna be testing is the Hornady Blackline 168 grain AMAX. Let's see if this can match the performance of that 155. All right, let's go down range, take a look. Didn't seem to like the 168 grain quantity. AMAX, I forgot to bring the box. We'll go ahead and measure inside, or center to center, I mean. Always easiest to do. Yeah, right up there. 1.2 inches. You can see. Alrighty. Next round we'll be testing will be Federal Gold Medal Sierra Match King, the 168 grain. It is starting to rain a little bit. And of course, it's sunny, but those showers never hurt anybody, so we're gonna keep on keeping on. Alrighty. Even in the rain, looks like a pretty good group. Let's go check it out. Alrighty, in true Paul Harrell fashion, it's pouring rain, but I'm here to make a video, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. Unfortunately, I can't write on the target anymore. Ripping it to pieces, so we're just gonna go by the video for the rest of this. As a reminder, this was the Federal Gold Medal 168 grain Sierra Match King. Thank you, Academy, for the security strip. Oh, there we go. Guess we can use that side. So far, best group of the 168s. Let's see what the calipers have to say. No, the paper's crinkled. Man. Trying to keep the paper straight. We're at point. We'll just call that 0.95. Now, that might be a little bit with the paper folding over due to the rain, but I'm going to call that sub MOA for sure. And that's the Sierra Match King. So we're going to call that one 0.95. Alrighty. Next round we're going to be testing is the Federal Gold or Federal Premium Gold Medal 175 grain Sierra Match King. All right, that's 3 down range. Let's go take a look. A reminder, this was the Federal Premium Gold Medal Sierra Match King 175 grain. And I think I have it pretty close. Center to center. We're looking at 1.74. Let's call that 1.75. Alrighty, the last round for today. It's the most expensive round. That's the Hornady Precision Hunter 178 grain ELDX. Well, showers have gone away. Sun is back out. Let's see what we can do. Alrighty. Quick reminder, this was the Hornady Precision Hunter 178 grain ELDX. So this gun's definitely liking the lighter ammunition. At 150 range, 155. And try to keep my hat out of the way. We'll find center. The center. So center to center. I don't know if y'all can see that. We're right at, there we go, 2 inches. 2.04 is what I'll call that. And with the sun back out, I'll be able to write those past group sizes down as well. Alrighty, y'all. So we just concluded shooting the 7 boxes of ammo I had on hand. 2 of those boxes came out sub MOA. First place going to the Hornady Black 155 grain AMAX, right at 3/4 of an inch. And second place going to the Federal Premium Gold Medal Sierra Match King 168 grain. And that was right at 0.95 of an inch, all being at 100 yards, of course. So, kind of wrap up my comments with the backfire video. Yes, I believe most modern rifles are capable of sub MOA from the factory. I think your video was a little flawed in the logic, that I'd say most of the people at the range, 1, aren't 1 MOA shooters. 2, they just went to granddad's closet and grabbed out the 30-06 and went to Walmart and bought the cheapest ammo they could find. You know, in the life of that rifle, it probably hasn't even had 100 rounds through it, let alone someone sitting down taking the time to find the right round it likes. It shoots the best, right? And here in South Texas, most people, they don't care as long as it's minute of deer. And I think that's most of the people you find at the range. They're just looking for minute of deer. But if this, definitely budget range rifle can pull off sub MOA groups, and it takes a competent shooter. I'm not the best shooter in the world. I have a lot to learn, but the rifle's able to do it, and I was able to do it. And there's probably other brands out there of ammunition that this will shoot sub MOA. So I think it's a little arrogant to call the rifle, to say it's the rifle's fault for not shooting sub MOA, especially a guaranteed rifle, right? Because this Ruger American, I didn't see any guarantees on the website for accuracy. So, if the rifle has an accuracy guarantee from the factory, it probably shoots sub MOA. You just got to find the ammo and follow a break-in procedure. And a lot of people don't like the break-in procedure, but hey, it's more practice for you, and it'll improve your gun's overall accuracy. But other than that, I will be getting some more of this ammunition to do some further accuracy testing, 5-round groups, even a 10-round group. Maybe test the temp stability with some rounds in the freezer versus rounds out in the sun. And I'll probably follow it up with some more testing on the Federal Gold that was sub MOA. I'll probably be trying some other of these 150 grain weights, see if it likes something else as well. But stay tuned for further videos. Appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.